Motul Motostar British Championship. A brilliant start from Joe Irving and from the yellow machine, the distinctive yellow machine of Australian newcomer Ollie Simpson. As they drive off down the huge drop, Pilgrim's Drop, Ollie Simpson grabs the lead from Jordan Weaving, but already a move being made by the orange KTM of Joe Irving to get past the fast starting number 61 Ernst Dubing. And an early move by Joe Irving that puts the Toden Tatey-backed Redline KTM through into the lead. Meanwhile, Bradley Ray making enormous progress as one of his rivals runs clean off track. Ernst Dubing does hang on to the bike, miraculously come back on track through Dingledell. At the front, a three-way scrap for supremacy involving the three Austrian KTMs as they start to move in amongst the back markers. And Jordan Weaving makes a late move through to lead the race for the first time. Ollie Simpson also forces his way past Joe Irving, and the long-time race leader, number 66, Irving, is pushed back to third place. Then Ollie Simpson attacks the South African race leader, squeezes his way through up towards Druids, and he certainly learned how to ride Brands Hatch pretty quickly, because he trims the apex at Druids, and then the red flag goes out. It gives victory to Ollie Simpson, first time of asking, ahead of number 34, the championship leader, Jordan Weaving. So that was a splendid race, governed from the outset by the poleman Danny Buchan, but as they went down Paddock Hill Bend, great start by Jason O'Halloran on second place, and the Honda Racing Australian star forced his way to the front. Didn't take long though, as far as Surtees before that man Danny Buchan on the Qingdao WK Racing Kawasaki had punched his way through to the front. But here came Lee Jackson, and the little wizard from Lincolnshire forced his way through, made his first move at Hawthorns, ran wide and allowed Danny back through. And then Danny responded after losing the lead to Lee Jackson with this aggressive move as they went up Surtees, and it worked. Danny was back at the front. But it could have gone any which way. Buchan, Jackson, O'Halloran nailed together. Lee Jackson went for the front again as they dropped down Paddock Hill Bend, and then Danny just ripped his way back underneath him, glanced across to see where he was and blocked him up Druids Hill. And on the final lap, Jason O'Halloran blocked past Lee Jackson as they dropped to Graham Hill Bend, almost put Jackson on the grass. That was Jackson out of the equation, and despite this massive moment coming out of Clark Curve, it was Danny Buchan who took victory ahead of Jason O'Halloran's Honda, with Jackson in third place. And Danny Buchan beside himself with joy. That is the hardest he's had to race all year. The lap record has been smashed, and Buchan has won again. Pirelli National Superstock 600 Championship in association with Black Horse, and Andy Reid makes the initial break off this middle of the front row of the grid on the FFX Yamaha. Taron McKenzie not such a good getaway on the WD-40 bike, and he kind of got swallowed up in the pack because suddenly he was being under attack from all sorts of directions as they swarmed through Druids. Taron still there in second place, but straight away one of the Kawasaki's, Andy Irwin, burst his way through, and at that point we had an Ulster 1-2, but then Kyle Ryde on the yellow track days pace stage Yamaha made his presence felt, and he really ripped through in front of Andy Reid there. Andy Reid was pushed so far out he lost 2 places going through Stirling's, and that pushed him right back into the pack. Irwin made an attempt to grab the advantage on bike number 8. It worked. He now led Kyle Reid, but Kyle Ryde, Ryde quickly back at the front. Irwin responds going down Paddock Hill Bend, but Kyle always in the mix, trying to find a way through to find that clear track at the front. A big moment, by no means the last of his race for Andy Irwin, costs him at Surtees. Kyle Ryde's back at the front at that point. Irwin still in second place. Well, not for long, because in banging elbows with Joe Collier as they surge up Hawthorns Hill, and Collier is through to second place. It's Kyle Ryde though who takes the win. Joe Collier second. Andy Irwin survives all his moments to go third. The second race of the weekend at Brands Hatch for the Ducati TriOptions Cup. And off pole position, Dennis Hobbs makes a charge from the start, but round the outside comes his teammate, the former champion, Leon Morris. And then up Halewood Hill, Morris cuts through into second place and then takes the lead as Rob Guyver surprises Marty Nutt on the way into Paddock Hill Bend. Both of them run wide, Nutt out onto the curb, and that gives Rob Guyver third place. Sean Neary gets the better of number one, Marty Nutt. Nutt responds up the hill and into Druids, cuts through on the inside. Rob Guyver makes a move on the inside of Dennis Hobbs on Hawthorne Hill, swooping around Hawthorne, but a great response by Dennis as the sun comes out and he charges back into second place. Then a mistake by Dennis Hobbs on the final lap. He hits the grass coming out of Surtees, and then he makes another mistake as they're going through Dingledell. Round the back marker, runs wide onto the grass again coming out of Sheen Curb, and that gives Rob Guyver a clear run through into second. He tries to get the better of Leon Morris, but it's Morris, the 2011 champion, who holds on to win the Sunday race ahead of Rob Guyver and Dennis Hobbs. Great ride then by Leon Morris. He extends his lead at the top of the table.
The weather made tyre choice a bit of a lottery. Some went for wet, some went for slick, some went for intermediates. No one was to know in 8 laps how the circuit would dry out, but Sean Hegarty on the intermediate rear tyre certainly got the grip off the line. Chased all the way though by Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, who'd gone for a slick rear. Ben Holland and Lee Watson made the best of their tyre choice in the early stages, but it wasn't to be. As the race went on, they were gradually overhauled and went further back down the order, eventually finishing way down. But in their way down the field, they became enmeshed in a terrific scrap. Andy Peet from the back of the grid really was the first past them, and then just look at the action that ensued behind. As Ben Holland and Lee Watson and Finning Cap Kawasaki were gobbled up, the leading two, Hegarty and Lovelock, set about wrapping up the race. Lovelock, though, in the closing stages, was right on Hegarty, and if there'd been one more lap, it could have been a very different story. Next up is Thruxton, and maybe on a very fast circuit, Lovelock can finally get the better of Sean Hegarty. Tony Brown and Ashley Wills completed the top 3 and got a nice visit to the podium for them. There's your winner, Hegarty and Lee.